All right, let's just get the obvious question out of the way. We're not here to ask who would win in a fight. No, the question is way, way more interesting than that. What if Superman's pod didn't crash in Kansas? What if it landed smack dab in the middle of the Star Wars galaxy? See, we're not talking about a simple brawl here. This is a collision of entire realities. You see, this isn't really about who can punch harder. It's a conceptual problem. Think about it. The entire Star Wars galaxy, its religions, its conflicts, its power, it's all built on one single set of rules, the Force. So what happens when something or someone shows up who is an absolute, undeniable exception to every single one of those rules? Yeah, so forget the power scaling debates and who's got the better laser sword. This is a much deeper, more fascinating kind of puzzle. And that right there, that's the core idea. This isn't just about a new hero showing up to join a fight. It's about what happens when Superman's very existence crashes head-on with the fundamental operating system of the Star Wars universe, the Force. And to really get our heads around this, there's a key concept we need to talk about. Okay, so in speculative fiction, there's this idea called an outside context problem, and it's the perfect lens for this. It means a variable so completely foreign that a system has no way to even begin to process it. Superman isn't just a powerful guy from another planet. He's a variable so alien that the Star Wars galaxy literally has no framework to understand him. He's a walking, talking impossibility. So just imagine it. His arrival isn't some smooth landing in a field. It's a violent rupture, a tear in the fabric of reality itself. From the very second he arrives, his presence is an anomaly, something that just shouldn't be there. And you better believe the galaxy notices. Immediately. Instantly. Every single Force user, from the deepest core to the outer rim, feels it. Not like a new player has just joined the game, but like the game board itself has just been warped. It's this massive shockwave, this pressure, and they can't define it. It's not light, it's not dark, it's just overwhelming. And it's stronger than anything they have ever felt before. I mean, just think about the scale of this. We're talking about the heaviest hitters in the galaxy. And they are all stopped dead in their tracks. Yoda drops out of his meditation, Luke's breath catches in his throat, and Palpatine. Oh, you know he feels it. At first he probably smiles, sensing this incredible new power. But then that smile slowly fades into a frown, because for the first time in his life, he senses something completely and totally beyond his control. And the reason for that, well, that's the key to this whole thought experiment. So here is the absolute mind-bender, the universe-shattering concept. The Jedi, the Sith, they probably assume he's some kind of virgins in the Force, right? A new chosen one or something. They're completely wrong. He doesn't use the Force. He isn't in the Force. The Force literally has to bend around him. It moves out of his way. He stands entirely outside of it. And that one simple, impossible fact, it throws the entire system into absolute crisis. And this creates two very different kinds of problems, depending on who you are. For the Jedi, it's a crisis of knowledge. Everything they thought they knew about the universe is suddenly wrong. But for the Sith? Oh, for the Sith, it's something much, much scarier. It's a crisis of control. I mean, just look at how mismatched he is. The source of his power, a yellow sun, not the Force. His core motivation, hope, saving people, not some abstract balance or a lust for domination. He's totally, completely illegible to both of the galaxy's main factions. The Jedi are confused by him, but the Sith understand the threat he represents almost instantly. And that's why. Think about Palpatine's entire playbook. It's built on finding a weakness, fear, ambition, pride, and twisting it. That's his whole deal. But with Superman, there's no leverage. You can't tempt him with power. You can't break him with fear. You can't corrupt him. In his presence, the entire Sith toolkit is just useless. So when he finally does intervene, it's nothing like what the galaxy is used to. There's no rage, no lightning shooting from his fingertips. It's just quiet, absolute control. Blaster bolts just stop in midair. Entire Star Destroyers are crumpled up like tin cans, but gently, precisely. It's a kind of power the galaxy has never seen before. Total, overwhelming, but completely free of the passion and the anger that's supposed to fuel that kind of strength. And here's the thing. He doesn't try to lead a rebellion or take on the Emperor directly. His method is so much simpler, and honestly, so much more devastating to the system. He just saves people, one world at a time. And this one simple act causes a massive domino effect. Entire systems built on fear slavery, tyranny, the empire itself, they just start to crumble when the fear is gone. His very presence makes their power obsolete. So with every life he saves, he's not just winning a skirmish. He's proving a point, a philosophical thesis, really. He's demonstrating a new truth about what power even is. And it's a truth that completely subverts the entire conflict that has defined the Star Wars galaxy for generations. And here it is. This is the big idea. Power does not need domination to win. In a galaxy that is completely defined by a struggle for control, Republic versus Separatist, Empire versus Rebellion, light versus dark, Superman proves that true strength doesn't come from dominating others, it comes from serving them. And that one single idea, it makes the entire galaxy's obsession with conquest totally meaningless. The long-term consequences are just huge. The Jedi are forced to look in the mirror and admit that their rigid dogma, their understanding of the universe, was tragically incomplete. They have to evolve or die. And the Sith? Well, their power comes from fear. In a galaxy that's no longer afraid, they just become irrelevant. So what happens is the galaxy stops revolving around this endless tug of war between light and dark. It doesn't find a new balance. It moves into a completely new age. The core principle isn't balance anymore, it's accountability. And that leads to maybe the most staggering consequence of all. The Force itself is, well, it's demoted. By just existing, Superman proves there's a greater power that exists completely outside of it. So the Force is no longer the ultimate, all-binding authority of the universe. It's just one power source among others, and it's not even the strongest one anymore. So why accountability? Why that specific shift? It's because of this one crucial, game-changing fact. For the first time, someone stronger than the entire system refuses to rule it. Think about it. Superman could make himself emperor of the galaxy and absolutely no one could stop him. But he doesn't. He won't. And by refusing that ultimate power, he breaks the galaxy's oldest rule, that might makes right. So at the end of the day, you realize he isn't just another piece on the grand galactic chessboard. He's not a new king or a rook or a pawn for one side or the other. No, he's the outside force that just flips the entire board over. The pieces go flying and everyone is left staring at the mess, forced to ask why they were even playing that stupid game to begin with.
Which leaves us with one final, massive question. If the Force is no longer the ultimate power, what happens to a galaxy whose entire philosophy, religion, and power structure is built around it? What comes next when the very foundation of your reality cracks? Now that is something to think about.